Hello, everyone. This is Nikki Clegg with Fulfill Your Legacy. I am a life and business coach who helps people step into their divine purpose and live out their call, leaving a lasting legacy. My books are Fulfill Your Legacy, based all about a journey of first getting partnered with God, your personal growth, which moves into then bringing it into your home and your family, then out to your community, and of course, out to the world. So today, one episode per month, I'm going to dedicate it to entrepreneurs who are trying to get their message out to the world. Of course, when you're on this talk show, it's going to be a message that I know is going to breathe life into the world. And so that's why I've got our guest here, Teresa. First, I'd like you to share a little bit about yourself and what and the work and the passion that you're doing. And we're going to jump straight into these 12 steps. Okay, Teresa?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Nikki. I'm really happy to be here. A little bit about myself. I live in southern New Hampshire, not too far from Boston. I have an amazing husband and I have a husky named Bella. I have recently discovered the joy of coaching. It is something I am extremely passionate about. I fell in love with it instantly. I'm a baby coach. I just finished my first courses, and I passed my exams, and I have my first several clients, and I'm already enrolled to take the advanced training. But I had a life-changing experience about 5 years ago, which completely changed the trajectory of my life. And life coaching is one of the things that resulted in that experience.
Well, I think you're bringing up a really good point. Many of us need to know that often, whether you're a life coaching client or a business coaching client, our pain often becomes our purpose. And we know this. I also work for a publishing company, Igniting Souls. And so that's always true for our authors as well. But tell me then, we're going to start in with these steps, okay? And I want to thank you for letting people learn based off you, right? But one of these first steps is understanding your VPS, who you are and what you do. So can you tell me a little bit about, you said, you're going to be coaching, but what is that unique kind of service that you want to provide? What specific coaching do you want to do?
So I'm still ironing that out, so I don't have all of the answers. But one thing I found that I'm very interested in, mainly because I've personally been through it, is I really want to work with people who have checked all those boxes in life that they're supposed to do. You know, there's a set of things that we're all supposed to accomplish that make us look successful to the outside world. And I'm finding that a lot of people go through those steps. They check those boxes and they get to a point and they realize either one, they're not entirely fulfilled, or two, they lost themselves somewhere along the way. And so I want to work with people to help them identify, like, what is that thing that you really want? What is that dream that you always thought of, but you never achieved for whatever reason? Or if you don't know what that is, how do we figure out what that is? And I would like to work with people to identify what is that thing they want to do? What are they passionate about? What are their obstacles that are in the way, and how do we remove them so that we can move you from where you are now to that extraordinary life that you have in your mind? And I think that can vary a lot. Like, I want to work with people on one end of the spectrum who simply want to find some time over the week in their existing life to dedicate to something they're passionate about, or a hobby, or something they care about, all the way to the other end of the spectrum where you have these seriously high performing people that are ultimately successful on the outside to everyone else, but internally they might be feeling unfulfilled. And so I'd like to work with that whole range of people.
Okay, so I hear a lot, and we're checking several of these boxes. I am gonna scroll over to these and have you guys see these. Now, let me see here. Banners. Let's get to this one right here. Okay, guys, so those of you who are listening now, I'm going to be jumping around because we want to try to hit as many of these 12 steps to start your business as we possibly can. So we like to say, I am a who does this so that I can do this, right? And so you are a author. No, you're not an author. So you are a coach. And then do you hope to speak or not?
I actually am an author and a public speaker.
Okay, so we're going to say I'm an author, coach, and speaker. Okay, so you've described yourself, but who does what? Well, you just told us who moves people from, let's see, from feeling lost or desiring a dream that's not yet met. And I would even add the word passion, who has a passion, yet feels lost and their dream is not yet met, who's struggling. No, and I would say to move past your obstacles so you can live an extraordinary, the extraordinary life or dream that's been tucked inside of you all along.
Yes.
Something like that. Like those were my chicken scratch notes as you were sort of telling your story. Okay. So normally I spend maybe 15 minutes with somebody or 20 minutes really pulling it out. And then when you're really unique, you tucked in there like catchphrases. You'll notice that I say in mine, like I help people live within the sweet spot so they can. And so like I've just branded in my kind of business name and my podcast. And the sweet spot is a coaching tool that's in my first book. And so you can see that take this main thing, what it is you do, that and then put that in some branding. So step one, we got that one done. That's part of your offer. You never want to express an offer without like already in your mind being clear on who you are and what you do. Otherwise your offer, people will be confused and they won't even be attracted to you. Okay. So now an offer also is like products and stuff. Okay. So you hope to coach. Is that all? Now you said something about a book.
Yes, I've published 2 books, both having to do with a life-changing experience I had several years ago. So I have a website where I sell those books, and I'm also a public speaker. I've given talks all over the place, trying to inspire people to reach beyond that visible horizon to accomplish something extraordinary.
Okay, so that's your catchphrase, probably reaching beyond the invisible horizon to connect to that extraordinary, whatever you just said. Is that something you say a lot?
Yes, it was in my book, and yes,
Okay.
I say it a lot.
So you'll notice, and when you hop on my sites, you're going to see that like lots of times when I do some sort of talk, I might say at the very end, go live, love, learn, and lead according to the call God has on your life. Because that's like, it fits my entrepreneurs, it fits my life coaching clients, and it's everything I do. So as you start to communicate yourself, make sure that you're putting that catchphrase, because the VPS of sorts, this kind of statement of who I am and what I do, matched that little catchphrase perfectly. Okay. So now the book that you wrote, is it already giving you some of the steps or the journey you went through that helped someone get there? Is that true? Like in your book that you wrote, or one of the 2, do you actually speak to them what you went through in a way that they could almost learn from that?
Yes, my second book is a 5-year reflection of the first experience, and it talks about the lessons learned from a life-changing experience and how to apply them to
All right.
now.
And so you do understand then you already have products, because that could be a beautiful online course.
Oh, okay.
So how you do that is you take that process and list it out in like 10 steps or 5 steps or whatever. And then your already applications, who knows, they could maybe be a lead magnet, something that somebody goes through for free and it brings them in then into your coaching one-on-one, or leave it in there. And then just like take map out each step, the 10 or whatever. And then you literally record a video of yourself teaching on that step.
Okay.
Okay. And that becomes your online course, but you would then offer it several ways. You could offer it by way of online for real cheap, and people could go through it and learn from you based off your book. You could give them a copy of your book and the course to go with it and the little videos to go with it. And then you could also offer that exact same thing, but now you could put maybe a group of individuals. So do you have passions for certain people, like women or men, or maybe it's young people, or anything like that, or just everyone?
I do love everyone, but I recently do have a passion for women who tend to feel like they get stuck in a box.
Okay, so it's good to have a niche of sorts. So I would just, for now, when you're starting out, start that way. You
Okay.
can broaden it more. And I mean, when I started my business, I went all women. Everything I did was like pink writing, and my blogs were so silly. And that's another thing, you guys, you entrepreneurs listening, just go. It doesn't matter how goofy and not perfect it is in the beginning. It will hold you back if you don't move. And then every year you'll get cleaner and better. Maybe every 2 months you get cleaner and better. So just keep stepping in. But what I did see, and I've got a lot of chicken scratch here. I'm just going to lift it up. It's a little embarrassing. But so see this 2 circles here?
Yes.
So I feel like you could almost have this whole company as if we were talking, like right now, the things that the VPS, the statement you said you're going to do, your catchphrase. Now you've got a book that's kind of founded off of this program of yours. And now you have a process because you're following the steps in your book and you're turning it into this course. But I think you could offer it in 2 ways. That you could offer. So very much like me, who does life coaching in this whole God partner process, I also do business coaching. And so I'm still walking them through advancing into whatever they feel they're supposed to be doing, right? And all that's more out there for them. So you could have a personal track and a work track. And the people who feel like unfulfilled, they don't really want a new job, but maybe, like you said, they just need some hobbies that feed their soul, and they need to just start giving them life balance and all these things that are probably tucked inside of your book. That would be personal track. But then you also have a very serious, like, okay, you're in the wrong job. And you know it, and you're ready to like go to something else. And those people do the same process, but your focus with them and what you speak with them is so much more leaning towards, okay, where are your gifts and talents? How can we put this into your work you do and all that? Does that make sense?
I love this so much because both of those things interest me, and I didn't know if it was possible to do both.
It totally is possible. Absolutely. Okay. So now if you look at our steps here, we've talked about your offer now. We've talked about, so that's step 1. We figured out who you are, which makes your offer work. The who you are in the sales story, we're not going to have time to. We're going to go back, but I'll touch on it. The funnel. I'm just going to like highlight this for the people watching because we're getting down to about 15 minutes now. It's crazy, isn't it? So a sales story is a great way for her. She already has said 2 or 3 different times, it's what I've gone through, or things like that. And so as we weave our stories into our product lines, it helps people know, like, and trust us. Okay. So they believe you've been there. Can you imagine if I was up here trying to life coach you, but at the same time, I wasn't even a coach?
Yeah.
And or if I didn't do business coaching, and and it just would be a little scary, to say the least. So we need them to trust us. And so when we put our stories in, it makes a difference. So you already, in your VPS, it gets expanded on, and we follow a 6-step process for writing your story. And those stories can be written in a way that are short, and they're on like a Facebook page, and it leads people to some like quick offer. Or it can be a little longer, and it can be almost like at the top of a sales page, and it could almost be training and like a webinar or something like that. A little short, like 15, 20 minutes sales kind of strategy. Or it could be really long, and it could be like an hour or more, and it could totally be a really good give, like a advanced webinar where you're teaching, and people then would coach and work with you at the end of it. But it's the exact same process and the exact same story that you use. Okay, so we can touch back on that, but the funnel. So a funnel is something that you would help build know, like, and trust for. So at the beginning, you can imagine all you entrepreneurs, you're trying to get a name, and Facebook has all these like little ways of hiding your content depending on what you're putting out. Now my listeners are probably going to go down and replay because I said that, but whatever, I fight it. But the thing is that we want you to be able to start putting things out as social media, that's number 5, platforms, in a way that are giving, in a way that are speaking your message clearly. That's why I did spend most of our time up front getting your messaging clear, helping you know how you can do these 2 audiences and keep it consistent. So we'll have you do all that. But as you do that, you're building know, like, and trust, so that when you go to make that offer, then they're going to step in. And you may only on your social platforms have a small following. Don't worry about that. We need to use the funnel process well, so that you're offering things that they sign up for on your email address and to get. So awesome little coaching tools, things that are going to give them value. Like this video that we're doing, I may very well download it and turn it into a little mini training on these 12 steps, right? And so you can imagine that if somebody signed up for my email list and I said, I'm going to send you 6 different sessions. One is an overview of all 12 steps, and it's actually ours. And then maybe the next 5 weeks, I take 5 of the most crucial points right here, and I do a talk show with those people, right? And so now you can imagine, if I was a new entrepreneur, I'd be like, sign me up. Like I can learn right from those people, right? And so you've done the nice posting to build know, like, and trust. Then next you give them something and ask them to sign up, right? To get something. And then you kind of step them in a little further and make the offer. And that's really the minimum viable funnel, the smallest, easiest kind of funnel. And we have all deep, complex ones. Like I just did one at the start of this year, and 3,000 people signed up for it. Okay, so we start small and master the whole approach, learn how to do it right, because people are doing it wrong all the time. Then you start to double up. Okay, so we've talked about several of these steps. I'd like to spend the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes looking at your website. Are you okay with that?
I would love that. I would love your input. Thank you.
Okay, you betcha. So those of you listening, I think this is hilarious. I'm using StreamYard for the very first time. So I'm going to try to share screen. Not sure how it's going to go. but so if I quick stop and we come right back here, you'll know why. So here we go. We're going to share screen. I'm clicking the button. And then it looks like I have to choose my screen. Okay. Okay, let me put this back in here because yours did not come up. Okay, fine. I'm going to copy your, there's all these workarounds that I can just figure out if I need to. Okay, so I think this will work now. I got to go back here and I'm going to stop sharing and try it again. Hang with me, folks. I think I got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you see it?
I can.
Oh, this is so awesome. All right. So a couple of the things that I would look for in a website and these are just things I'm going to tell you. I coach thousands of people, and these are things that I will say work. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it. Okay.
Okay.
So we definitely want to see your head, your face in this, what we call the fold. Now I'm going to just go ahead and X out of this so you can see what my screen. I'm making you as big as you can be on my screen so that you'll see what really is visible. So when somebody logs on, this really is what they're going to see. And yes, I'm happy that we've got your face here. But it's not like taking up all this. Let's open up my website at the same time, because I think people, when they can see what I'm talking about, it does make a difference. Okay, so when you see mine, I'm going to have to stop sharing and go back. So Stop sharing. Okay, StreamYard. Oh boy, this is tricky. Share. Okay, so I'm going to quick pop over here because I want you to just take note of a couple things. Okay, right here now, when you look, see how I'm like right there? Is it sharing?
It is sharing, and
Okay.
yep.
So
Your picture is very large.
My face is large and there's space to write, but you can quickly see that there's action that you could take. And you can get that. I transform your life or your business. And then I say, take the one that's best for you. So if you're business coaching, you're going to do that one, right? And then we get into who you are. And before I scroll down back on yours, these are the main things that I do. But this new website kind of the thought is that if you could just do scroll down, you would kind of want to be able to see the same things going down that I do actually going across the bar. So we're going to stop mine and we're going to go back to yours. So let's see. I stop share. All righty. And now we're going to go back to your website.
And I do have I have the bar at the top and you can scroll down. I'm not sure if it's in the same order. I think it's about the same.
Okay, good. All right. So now we're back to yours. And I can see sunrise in Spain, finding the good life, hiking in the Camino. That's so fun. Okay. So you are probably going to be changing this. Or do you specifically want to keep all this, or is this mostly based off one of your books?
No. So this site was originally made. I built it for my first book, and then my second book came out and I tried to morph it, and so I'm going to need to morph it again so I can make whatever changes are necessary.
Okay. So what I would love to see how it says read both books. I would just change this tab to say books. Okay. And then it will drop down, and one will drop down to Sunrise in Spain and one will drop down into this book.
Okay.
Or you could leave it as just one page when they click on books, and then the book page would literally have your one book and a lot of information in bullets, not reading about your book. And then it would, like down a little lower, have the second book, and then the same process, bullets, right? And then I would prefer it this way, to be honest, to just have the word books, to have them both here, and that there's like a book and some bullets, and then lower book and bullets. And then I would love to see a button right below the bullets so that you could say in the button, even maybe two buttons, you could say learn more, or life coaching program, or life purpose program, or the name of your company. And then you could literally like go off to that sales page from the books page. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Okay. So same sort of thing over here on home. I'm going to head back to your home. And, I am in your home.
I think that is home.
So same with your home page. I would then see how you have this like category thing here?
Yes.
And then you kind of have a category thing here? Okay. So you're following a very good process. You sort of did that innately, but it's just not enough. It's not bold enough. So I would love to see a banner here with messaging and a free gift and your face. Right here at the top. Don't talk about all these other things though. Just say your catchphrase and let them know what they do. Then I would move down into the about. So see about Teresa. I would move down into this section. And when I say this isn't big enough, it's not bold enough, I would make this font be around 20, maybe 36. And I would give it a specific font. This is the same font you're using everywhere. So I would leave this font as your text font. And I would let your kind of header, where you're subheading and you're telling people the section that you're in, I would make that be like a different one and bold. So that it really stands out. You could even maybe put like a line below it so that people clearly know they're moving from one section to the next. So the under your header would be more about me. So more about Teresa, or more about, maybe if you're a coach and you brand yourself, like some people will say, more about the confidence coach, or Teresa, confidence coach, just, and then do your own section about you. Then you'd have a section that says, about Teresa's books in the same big font with the line under it. And then you'd have both of your books and just a learn more button. That's it. And it would take them to the book section. And then where it says like 2015 video presentations and stuff, I would leave these as programs or services.
Okay.
So that you could then drop down 2 programs or 1 program. So I like the idea too. And one would be the personal journey. I can't remember what we were calling that journey, but you had a word for it. Extraordinary something journey. And then the other one is maybe like business or work life journey, personal life journey, work life journey.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'm going to stop because we're down to about 5 minutes, and we'll just talk face to face a little bit. And so I did stop sharing. I think I'm back. Okay. It looks good. So after hearing some of this, I always like to give you just a couple minutes if you've got a question for me. And also anyone on the thread, if you want to post a comment, we can go ahead and send that over too.
Thank you. This is a lot of information, and this is really helpful. I really love that you said that I could do both the personal and the work, the 2 different journeys, because those are both important to me. I do have a question about, I don't know if you can help with this, but the website itself, as I said, it's kind of evolved over time. And I need to create a title for my business, and I need to probably have a new domain that links to this one.
Yep.
Do you have any advice on, I think I'm more interested in, how do I find a good title for my coaching?
Yeah. Leave your domain the way it is. And those entrepreneurs that will be listening and replay, if you can get your name, do it, and just make sure your domain is your name. And yours was, right?
Mine it's Teresa's Camino, so it's not my name.
Oh, okay. So see if you can get your name. And if you can't, then, let's talk a little bit about your company name. So my company name is Fulfill Your Legacy. And I'm not real sure that a ton of people know that. They might recognize the sweet spot better, living within the sweet spot. But regardless, it's very much a brand match because my books are The Living Legacy, Loving Legacy, Learning. Your book titles might even change, and your covers might change. Okay. And I have suggestions for both, but we don't have time today. Okay. But I definitely love. Tell me your catchphrase again.
It's reaching beyond the visible horizon to accomplish something extraordinary.
So I love the word beyond.
Okay.
I love extraordinary. So reaching beyond .com would be really cool if it's not taken.
Okay.
And reachingbeyond.com would work for both. And you could be saying beyond the extraordinary life, beyond the extraordinary work, or, play with it. So beyond extraordinary work life, beyond extraordinary personal life, something like that. But regardless, beyond extraordinary is really cool.
Okay.
So I guess I would maybe think on that. And so,
thank you.
Yes, we are down to just 2 minutes. I want to give you a little shout out in terms of when people can look for you. Tell us again your books, and then also tell us when you hope to have your company kind of like ready to launch.
My first book is called Sunrise in Spain, Finding the Good Life, Hiking the Camino de Santiago. And the 5-year reflection, the second book is called Returning from the Camino, Lessons from a Life-Changing Journey. They're both available on Amazon. And as for my coaching career, I'm hoping to get this started in the June, July timeframe.
That is really great. Well, we wish the best for you. I am so happy that you are on here with us today. We're going to go ahead and say goodbye to everyone listening. And those of you who are on the call, if you would like to be a guest and have a little help from me, let people learn at the same time, I would like you to go to my website. Check out the business coaching programs that I have. There are two. One is called BAE. It's in an awesome group. Lori there is, I believe, in it or has been. But BAE, Business Academy Elite, and also Firing, which is kind of a higher level elite group of business owners that are trying to really 10x their programs and stuff. But on that website, you can go to my contact me page and say, oh, I would love to be on your guest spot. I'll probably fill out a form and have something like that up soon. But for now, just reach out to me by email. And I guess I'll just say, good luck, everyone. Go live, love, learn, and lead according to the call God has on your life.